last video we have seen that how to add the student with the help of Axios post request. Now let's check whether our application is working or not. So I'm adding a new student to the backend application. I'm providing the value that is 1005. Okay, and here I'm giving a name Virat and student address, let's say Delhi, and clicking on submit. Record saved successfully. Let's try to add one more record. 1006 Rahul and the address Bombay. Okay, yeah, this time we didn't get any alert message. Okay, and let me check that whether the record has been added or not. So I'm moving to the MySQL workbench and just refreshing the records, and let's check that Virat is there or not. Yes, Virat is there and Rahul is also there. Okay, but what has happened that the record has not been added, or I didn't get the message that the record successfully saved. Okay, so the reason is sometimes that the React.js application calls the default actions. Okay, and that is what we require to prevent. So how can I prevent that? So for that, I will go to the student.js, and there, whenever I have that wherever the code is to add the student, okay, there I'll be writing one simple method call, that is event dot prevent default. Okay, so if I will call this, then it will restrict my application to call the prevent the default actions. Okay, and here I must have to pass the event as an argument of the method. Okay, right, so now my application will be restarted, and let me try the application once again. Okay, so now let me add the new record, that is 1007. Okay, and giving a name, let's say Shreyas. Okay, and the address is Tamil Nadu. Okay, and let me click on submit. I should get that message, record saved successfully. Okay, let me add some new element, but one thing you should observe is that these particular records are not getting automatically initialized to the blank in this text box. Okay, so how can I do that? So for that, I just have to set the state variable. So let me go back to the code, and here in the code, what I'm doing, that once the record has been added, then I'll be setting a state to null. Okay, so how I will write that? I will write like this, that set id nothing, then set name nothing, and set address nothing. So this is how the state would be initialized with null values. Okay, let me save this and let me rerun the application. So this record is already saved. Okay, let me add a new one, that is 1008, and here I'm giving a name Karthik, and then the address, that is Bangalore. Okay, and clicking on submit. The record saved successfully. Okay, and still it is not working. That means that the records are textbooks are not getting initialized by reinitialized by null value. Okay, so what I should do over here, that here I must have to specify the value null. Okay, or instead of providing null, what I can do, that I can have the single quoted value that will initialize it by the null values. Okay, let me save this and let me rerun the application. Okay, so I'm giving some new value, that is 1009. Okay, and then here I'm going to provide the value let's see. Hmm, this one. Sanju. Okay. And Karnataka. And clicking on submit. Let me click on OK. Right. So here you can see that the value has been gone. Okay. So we have set the text box so that whenever the record would be added, then the record would be or the text box would be reinitialized with a null value. So that is what we have done. Okay. Now, along with this, what we will do that we will add the edit and delete functionality while listing the student. So I'm moving to the view student, and there here I'm going to add one more column where I'll be having a command button related to edit and delete. Okay, so let me go back to my code of student listing, that is view students. Okay, and there here I'm going to add one more column to the table th and giving a name heading to the column, that is edit or delete, and here I'll be having buttons related to edit and delete. Okay, right. So how can I get a button group? So to get a button group, I will go to the React.js Bootstrap. So let me go to the React.js Bootstrap, and there I will be looking for the button that I want to add. Okay, so here I will just write button in the search bar. I'm typing button. So I will get a code related to buttons. So let me have the buttons. Okay, so for update, what I'll be doing that I will take uh, this primary button. Okay, let me take this primary, and here I'm pasting it over here. Okay, and for delete, I'll be taking this danger. Okay, so I'm copying the code of danger. Okay, the code has been added, and here let me change the names, that is this would be edit and this would be delete. Okay, so my compiler is giving me the error that button is not defined, so I must have to define the button. So let's define it. Import button from React Bootstrap button. Okay, guys, make sure that this should not be there ESM. Okay, it should be React dash Bootstrap slash button only. Okay, so now there is no error. Let's go back to the application and let's see that how it is looking like. Okay, so it is looking like this. Okay, so we have added this command buttons, okay, to the application, but right now this is not going to work. So if you will click on the edit, nothing is happening. If you will click on the delete, nothing is happening. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next video we are going to see that how to edit and delete the record. Okay.